Hello everyone. Welcome to Professional Training Academy. In this video we are going to identify the roles of Scrum framework. So the first role we are going to look at is the product owner role. What's the job of product owner? Product owner is probably one of the most important jobs in Scrum, and some of the responsibilities of the product owner are to do things like develop the product vision. So the product vision being what the stakeholders delegate or inform the product owner what they wanted to do, and the product owner has to develop the vision of what that product will look like. Then they do things like collect the prioritized requirements. So they are collecting requirements and prioritizing them based on the needs of the stakeholders and the capabilities of the development team. They also control budget and they oversee return and investment. So they are caught between both against marketing at stakeholder side as well as the developer side, and in terms of controlling budget for tasks overseeing whether or not the features that are not being built or generating and return investment. They also work on things like product validation and quality verification. So they look at and make sure that what's being built is actually something the customer needs, and they also make sure that the quality have been generated matches as the customer expectations are. They interface with all stakeholders. So they are in between both the development team, the financiers, the marketers and everybody else involved of the product. They are wearing responsibilities. So not just looking after the development team or working on marketing, but they work in all aspects of the product, and then they were also responsible for the success of the product and of the teams. So the next role we would have is the Scrum Master role. So the Scrum Master is generally the advisory role, someone of the team who can give some advice on things like correct methods and technologies. They are not so much leader but a coach of the team. So providing support when needed to help them understand how to execute properly. They ensure that the Scrum rules are enforced. So some of the rules that happen with the daily Scrum that have to adhere to, they make sure those are here too and that people don't stray outside of those. They are also not involved in the development team, so usually they are not a developer and outside of the development team, so they just look at the objective from the outside and they advise on correct method and technology, so they can give support on the way to do things within the Scrum, how to use technologies for that. Other Scrum Master responsibilities is to do things like eliminate impediments. So if there's something stopping one of the members in the team from doing something, then the Scrum Master would help to eliminate any impediments instead of their working together with the team to solve that. As well as that they can work to solve problems that cannot be solved by the development team. So again, the Subjectify might be able to solve problems that can't be solved inside of the development team. Then they overcome organization's strategic rollabouts, like if there is some hierarchy or some issues internally, these to be resolved instead of the development team getting involved, that the Scrum Master will take that on. They are also good in managing stakeholder expectations. Obviously the product owner has a role in that, but with the Scrum Master the expectations are generally around things like what can be done within a certain time frame, and then they also develop and maintain optimal conditions for performance. So they make sure that the team has what they need to make sure that all the systems of the system was set up what they need to be, and in general they just make sure that everything is set up so that the product can be delivered. Then we have the Scrum development team, obviously one of the important parts of the Scrum as well as the team that are building codes in the software, and generally the traits of this team is that they are self-organized, so they don't need Scrum Master. Scrum Master is just to help them out, and the goals of the team are generally self-determined, so the team themselves determine their roles. They are self-dependent. They don't depend on the Scrum Master in any way. They also help determining what requirements can be maturing sprint. So in this idea of things planning poker or making decisions for estimating, they decide what requirements can be maturing a specific strength, and they don't need Scrum Master. Management, it's not the job of Scrum Master to micromanage them or people manage them in any way, and they are an independent team that can self-organize and work on sprint as it need to be. So those are some roles that we can identify in the Scrum framework.